Gallup poll released this week shows Americans believe government is the nation's top problem. 21% of those polled expressed concern about poor leadership. No wonder. Presidents from both political parties, former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden, are under investigation for removing classified documents from the White House. Our former vice president admitted the same. And what about the ethics allegations of newly elected New York Congressman George Santos, accused of lying repeatedly to get elected? Well, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he'll wait and see if the Ethics Committee finds any criminality in what Santos did before he makes a decision on a possible vote to remove him from Congress. Folks, don't get me wrong here. I'm not excusing what Santos may have done. But if lying to get elected is the standard for removing someone from Congress, then most of the offices on Capitol Hill would be vacant. And Congress keeps spending money, adding to the national debt, which will soon exceed $32 trillion. So no wonder Americans rate government as our biggest problem. The second top concern, inflation. No surprise there. It currently stands at 6.5%. Just about everything costs more, including eggs. Depending on the breed, in many places, you can buy a live chicken for less than the cost of a dozen eggs. I was surprised that out of the top 9 issues of concern, morality and family issues rated last. Only 4% of the people polled showed concern about that. Folks, the reason we don't trust government is our leaders' lack of concern for ethics, morality, and family values. A so-called family-friendly drag show at a Texas community center is just one example. No outrage or law violations were noted here, even though the drag queen strutted his stuff in a bodysuit and he told children in attendance to close their ears as he announced, "Cheers to the ones who lick us where we..." Well, you get the idea. It's what people do to release bodily fluids. Well, community centers are usually required to abide by community standards. Shouldn't drag shows be limited to appropriate licensed venues like nightclubs or sexually oriented businesses? Do local officials think it's okay to violate ordinances and expose children to this? Maybe not this Texas drag show, but other similar shows have exposed children to breasts and genitalia. Is this what we want for our children? And in California, the state government has no problem with child prostitution. Legislators there passed a new law decriminalizing child prostitution. What the law does is keep child prostitutes out of jail and the judicial system where they could get help. Instead, they remain on the street to turn more tricks, and encourages and normalizes child sex trafficking. It keeps the cash flowing. But all is not lost. Another poll shows that 2/3 of Americans say public demonstrations of prayer in tragic times, like the recent on-field collapse and resuscitation of NFL player Damar Hamlin, are a force for good. Now, if only more Americans would see how daily prayer in public and private can change our lives and our nation. Well, that's it today from the Global Lane. Be sure to follow us on the CBN News and NRB channels, social media, and our broadcast affiliates. And until next time, be blessed.